Alrighty, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Retrograde Entropy, and yeah, so not much of an update today. I had a pretty meh day yesterday. I'm not going to say a bad day, but it's the closest thing to a bad day that I've had for a little while. So basically, what happened was, I think I already did my Monday update, so the shopping's all done on Sunday, did all the cooking. So Monday was pretty much going to be a rest day. So I was watching some YouTube videos, and I've seen a lot of people talking about the Joker movie, so the new Joker movie. And I was watching one video, and the guy was like, "Oh, spoilers," and so I turned off the video because I didn't want to get spoiled of the movie. So I was like, "Oh, I should probably go out and see it." You know, it's just down the road to the cinemas. It's going out, but it's, just going down the road. So I decided to go out that afternoon, even though I had to go out again today for parents. It's kind of like going out 2 days in a row. Not a super great idea, but I felt pretty good, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So I booked it in for Gold Class, which means I get dinner there as well, which is really nice because they cook really nice food that doesn't make me crook. Maybe a little bit queasy, but not crook. So anyway, booked that in, and then I had my normal day, playing a fair bit of iPhone, maybe a little bit too much, but meh, but that'll calm down over time because the builds for all my buildings are getting longer and longer and longer for Clash of Clans, so that's definitely going to slow down over time. So yeah, I'm doing a fair bit of that, and yes, I had my normal breakfast. I had tacos for lunch, and the mincemeat made me crook. So pretty, not super bad crook, but decently crook, decent stomach problems. So yeah, so I've got the rest of the mince defrosting in the fridge right now, and I'm going to chuck it as soon as it's fully defrosted. And what I'm going to do is, I don't need a half meal today because I'm going out to see my parents, so they'll give me lunch, so that's all good. And I'm going to go out on Wednesday, tomorrow, and I'm going to buy a fully cooked chicken, and I'm going to cut it into 4 pieces, and I'm going to cook it a little bit further just to make sure that it's properly cooked. And I'll cut it into 4 pieces, and then that'll be my half a meal for the rest of the week for 4 more days. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So that'll be kind of an experiment to see how that goes. But I think if I cook it a bit more, it should be okay. Not 100% sure, but it's from IGA, so it's not like a fast food joint giving me the chicken or something, which I could do, but IGA is a little bit better. And I think the chicken drumsticks I had this morning might be a little bit undercooked as well. It's so hard to get these things. It's weird as well, because they gave me one drumstick too little. They gave me 7 instead of 8, but the drumsticks they gave me were massive. So I cooked them for the same amount of time, and I think they may have been undercooked. So I've got to start. It was maybe the very slightest undercooked, but it still seems to have got me a bit funny. Or maybe that could be from dinner last night, from Gold Class, or from the thing. I don't know. I just don't know. But anyway, I'm going to, I'm going to see how it goes. Hopefully the rest of the meals are okay. I think the chicken skewers are probably okay, though I haven't tried them yet. The deli meat might be off because I froze that last. That was sitting out for like a few hours. On Sunday when I was cooking, because I stopped putting things in the fridge because I was worried about how it would affect cooking time. But the deli meat definitely should have gone in the fridge, but for some reason I just left all the meat out, and the mince as well. So the mince was out for about 4 hours before I cooked it, just sitting on the kitchen counter. It wasn't a super hot day, but still, I think I need to do better with regards to that sort of stuff. And it was just sitting in the microwave for an hour after it finished cooking because I was doing some YouTube stuff. So yeah, I think I got to get a bit of a better handle on that stuff. I haven't done my research on mince. Deli meat, I know you're not supposed to leave it out, and I'm pretty sure it went off because deli meat gets slimy when it's off, and it was slimy when I put it in the containers. So I might have to start chucking that out as well, which is going to be 4 meals down the drain, but whatever, I can do midweek cooking if I really need to. Just got to get a dishwasher cycle going today or tomorrow, and then maybe Thursday I can do more cooking. So yeah, not a great week for cooking. Not a great day yesterday. I mean, I went out to see the movie, and I felt fine, mostly. The meal was okay. Felt a little bit queasy still from lunch, but whatever. It's basic. I'm not sure that I would say it's a bad day. It's just a day that I definitely did not improve. So most days I relax, I go out for a couple of walks, I improve. Yesterday I did not improve. Today I probably won't improve as well. And I haven't been exercising or using the treadmill or doing either of these since Sunday, because Sunday I felt like crap because of the whole driving debacle. And then yesterday I didn't work out because it's really hard to work out when you've just taken a day off. It's hard to get back into the rhythm. And this morning I tried, but I only got like 2 exercises into my exercise routine, and I was just like, meh, don't care. So tomorrow is a completely free day though, and hopefully my food situation is okay, so I'm not like crook or anything like that tomorrow. And then so I'll get back in and I'll do the exercises full on. All of my working out, all of my walking, the exercise bike, and then I'll try and walk a little bit as well. I'm not sure I'm going to walk today. I might, actually, I just don't feel like it. That's the thing. I just don't feel like it. And I think it's because of the chicken drumsticks I just ate, because they made me feel a bit crook. When you feel a bit crook, you don't feel like walking. It's only when you feel good that you feel like walking. So once again, we have a week where cooking is going to screw me over. And it's just so hard to get it perfect. And I'm pretty sure it's so hard to get it perfect because my constitution is so very, very sensitive. I mean, I go to my parents' place and I eat food there and I still get crook sometimes. It's just like, what? My mum's been cooking for like 40 years or whatever ridiculous amount of years she's been cooking. A long time, a very long time. And sometimes her food still makes me crook. And I'm like, what? How have I got any chance of not making myself crook? You know? When I barely know anything about cooking. It's just not a great situation, and I don't want to go back to like light and easy and stuff like that. So, but stuff like deli meat gives me hope. It's not as nice as chicken drumsticks, but maybe I could go more into the pre-cooked chicken and just cook it a little bit more. I don't know. I'm getting pretty good at cooking the chicken though. I don't temperature check it anymore because that's a waste of time. It can be like 170 Fahrenheit and it still makes me crook. So what I do is I get a knife and I cut off a bit of the drumstick and just sort of look at the meat inside it. But maybe I need to leave it a little bit longer because I look inside and as long as I don't see any pink, then I'm happy. But maybe I need to push it a little bit harder because even when there's no pink, the white inside the chicken still looks a little bit rubbery when it's a little bit undercooked. It's not fully undercooked because there's no pink, but it still looks a little bit rubbery. So maybe I need to push it even further to when it doesn't look a bit rather rubbery. And then that's where it's fully cooked. It doesn't taste quite as nice when it's fully cooked. Like, I don't like overcooked chicken. But whatever. I may have to do it because then it definitely won't make me crook when it's in that stage. So yeah, it's kind of just ironing out the details is really what it is. Ironing out the details and getting the mince and the mince and the deli meat. So deli meat I'll put straight in the fridge straight away. 100%, that'll be fine. And then I'll just take it out when I need it. The deli meat, I think I'm overcooking the crap out of it. So the mince, I think I'm overcooking the crap out of it. I'm putting in for like twice as long as the microwave thinks it should be in. But it doesn't taste overcooked, or I can't tell that it tastes overcooked. It still tastes nice with all the meat sauce on it, so I'm like, whatever. So maybe that's okay to put it in the fridge for a little while. And then you do the chicken first, do the deli meat. Because, I use the convection oven for all the meat, but I also use it for the vegetables. So the whole process drags out quite a bit. And usually I do the mince last, but I think I still want to do the chicken first though, but we'll see. We'll play around with it next week. And next week is a nothing week. I got dinner with friends on Tuesday, but that's just one evening. That's like nothing in terms of stuff that I have to do. So yeah, we'll keep going. We've still got a plan, and I feel like the end of this week should be really great. I do actually feel pretty good this morning. Before I had the chicken, I felt really good. So if I woke up and I felt like this a month ago, back when I was working, I would be like, holy shit, this is amazing. Like, this is literally, disregarding the chicken, which made me feel a bit queasy, this is the best I've felt the entire year. So I am getting so much better. It's not even funny. If you watched my 50-minute video yesterday and you saw the graph, and the graph was just shooting up, I really feel like that's happening. It may be even shooting up faster than I thought it was. I may be going to reach something like 85 after just a month and a half or 2 months or something like that, as opposed to 4 months. But yeah, that's what it is. And it's going to be tricky because obviously I won't be able to fully figure out if I'm actually 85 or if I'm 90 or something like that until I go back to work, because work is going to be the real test. But I feel like I'm in a very good position where I am now, probably ahead of where I need to be in terms of recovering energy. So that's the good thing. All right, I'm going to finish this video off now. I actually got to leave in like 2 hours. This is 9:30. Usually I record a lot earlier than this, but I don't know. I'm not as focused. Ever since Sunday, I'm not as focused. So tomorrow, I got to focus. I got to get up. I got to do the gym and that sort of stuff straight away, and I got to get in the shower straight away. I got to start doing my videos at like 6:30, 7 o'clock again, and just get focused. Because I think the Sunday cooking, driving thing, and then Monday sort of going out to the cinema and getting cooked is sort of thrown my I had this very calm sort of, even more than calm, I was just sort of completely relaxed, focused, like just able to control exactly what was going on. So I wake up, I do the things I need to do, I get the video out, and then the rest of the day is free, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a walk here. Okay, I'm going to play some computer here. Okay, I'm going to do some reading here. And it felt like I was in control every single day. So I felt like I was pushing myself forward and making analytical decisions, whereas Sunday is a bit all over the place. Yesterday was a bit all over the place. My own fault, obviously, but I'm very glad I saw the movie. I mean, Joker is an amazing movie, amazing acting from the guy who played Joker. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. Obviously, it's the Joker, so there's some violence in it, but it's really cool, really cool. Yeah, and I still feel good this morning. So I think yesterday I just didn't improve, but I didn't get worse, that's actually good. That's my bad day, is just not improving. So I'm not actually going backwards or anything like that. And I suspect that today, going out seeing my parents will be the same. It'll just be not improving, but not getting worse. Maybe improving a bit, I don't know, but it's going to be a pretty warm day, so there's going to be lots of sun. I don't know. I'm not going to call this an improving day, but definitely the rest of the week, hopefully will be. And yeah, so I'm going to finish off the video now. If you did watch the video yesterday, the really long one, yeah, I do hope you enjoyed it. There's a couple of things I missed, actually. It turns out that this paper, the PEM and GET, actually did, I forgot to mention it, but it actually does back up on a point number 8, I think. So I said there were 4 points in the executive summary, but there's actually 9. I forgot to look at the other page. But it does say that exercise may be possible with CFS, but only if it's a safe exercise program. And that's point number 8 if you're reading the document. So point number 8, only if it's a safe program. Yeah, so you've got to be very careful about what you do. And I think that comes back to J Jal? No, I think it was J Jar. Let me go back and have a look at the comment. Yeah, J Jar. It was what they were saying as well about anaerobic, which is apparently like your lung capacity. I've never actually heard of anaerobic until J Jar mentioned it, which is, I'm not sure if it's really applicable to me. And the reason I say that is because I've got asthma. So if I'm working too hard or I'm walking too fast, I get problems with my lung because I got asthma. So anaerobic threshold is just, well, maybe it's there, but I always hit asthma first. So it's not really, my anaerobic threshold is asthma. So there you go. Bloody asthma, bloody everything. So, and I have got a little bit of lightness of breath when I've been walking a couple of times. Nothing serious though. No, I've never needed the asthma pump when I've been walking this month. So, and it only happens when I walk fast. If I'm feeling, really energetic, then I'm like walking faster. That's when I start to get the asthma. So if I walk at a normal speed, then it's not a problem. So I just got to sort of pull myself back a little bit if I need to. Anyway, I'm going to finish this video off now. I got 2 hours before I got to leave. So yeah, that's going to be it. And today is kind of a wash as far as actually getting my increasing my energy, but yeah, whatever. It's seeing the parents, still a great idea. Still gotta do that sort of stuff, and I'm sure it may sound like I don't actually want to visit them, but I do. But it's just you got to factor in the fact that you are driving. And then you are spending time with other people, and both of those things tire you out. So if it sounds like I don't want to go see them, it's not that I don't want to go see them. It's that you have to accept that going out to see them is not going to be an improvement day. It's just not. So, and that's basically it. So I don't know. If I was going to be like really super callous or something like that, I could say, well, I shouldn't visit them because it's going to screw with my improvement process. But that's just you can't do that. You can't say you're not going to go out and meet up with people or have dinner with friends or go see your parents because you're improving. I mean, theoretically, the math says, don't do all of that. But I mean, you're a human being. Like, you're a human being. So you got to do this stuff as well. And I've got Aspergers. So when I look at everything, I look at everything logically. Like emotions, I got emotions, but they don't really factor into my logical perspective. So it does actually make me feel a little bit weird about going to see the parents, because it's like all my decisions are made logically based on how I'm physically feeling, and how I'm mentally feeling. Like I should go on the computer because I'm feeling not, intellectually stimulated, or I should go for a walk because I got more energy, blah, blah, blah. And when it comes to visiting the parents, now this is a very serious Asperger's topic, which I should probably do a little bit more about. When it comes to visiting the parents, logic sort of, logic kind of, doesn't come into it as much as you think, because the advantages of hanging out with other people, it's not a logical problem. I mean, you've got the clear logical problem of, if I don't hang out with other people, if I become a hermit, then I'm going to have a lot of loneliness, and that's bad. And then you've also got, when you hang out with people, you have fun, you enjoy it, and that's a little bit hard to characterize, and that's probably the main thing, like having fun, enjoying being around people, I guess, which is 100% the main reason why I do it. Is that, and also because you got to keep up appearances. So you got to keep up appearances. If you drift off the radar, then things will go sideways. And it will go sideways with your friends. With your family, you don't really have a choice. You can't drift off, otherwise you start becoming estranged. And that's just a dick move, doing that. So it's mainly, you got to keep up appearances, but it's also fun. It's also enjoyable. And there is enjoyment in social activity, which is it's kind of just, when you've got Asperger, it's just a concept. It's like, all right, I'm going to go out and I'm going to see people and I'm going to have fun. And that's just sort of a rule. Generally, as a rule, it's like if I'm going to go out to see these people, I'm going to have fun, then I'll do it. And that's kind of how I look at it, and that's the way I mostly look at it. The only reason I sort of am a bit conflicted right now is because of my approach to chronic fatigue. So I've basically put all my confidence and all my willpower, which I was talking about yesterday, into chronic fatigue, into saying I will cure myself. So most people will say if they're going to cure themselves, they're going to say, I'm going to try my absolute hardest to cure myself. I'm going to do the best I can to cure myself. I don't say that. I say I am going to cure myself. 100%, no room for doubt. It is going to happen. I don't care what happens in the rest of the world, okay? Melbourne can be struck by a nuclear weapon or something like that. I don't give a shit. I am going to cure myself of chronic fatigue. When I say cure, I mean I'm going to improve it. I am going to be better. That is it. That is my determination, my confidence, my willpower when it comes to that statement is 100%. Absolutely 100%. And that means that everything else is secondary. Everything else. So if I'm going to go see my parents, I have to look inside myself and I have to say, does this help with improving chronic fatigue? Arguably no, because I'm going out, I'm driving, I'm hanging out with social people, which makes me tired. So then I have to justify it. I have to justify it against, my overall 100% chronic fatigue. And the fact is that every time I go out to have dinner with somebody or go out to have lunch with my parents, I am reducing the chance of curing myself from chronic fatigue. So I have to balance that against the fact that I've got 4 months to get better. Now, am I going to need every single day to be 100% perfect to cure myself from chronic fatigue? No. That's what I believe. Reliably, no. I assumed that at the start because I think it was a fair assumption to have little blips and blops here and there to do chronic fatigue, to say no, I don't need every day to be 100% focused. And I'm not sure I could do that anyway because loneliness would kick in and blah, blah, blah. And that leads to a whole other problem. So that's the sort of thing that can actually cause fatigue. So that's not good either. So I said, I'm going to keep doing this process. I'm going to keep doing it, going out, visiting people, having fun, having dinner, blah, blah, blah. Because I don't think I'm going to 100% need all 4 months. And I still had the extra 2 months in my pocket if it got really bad. So I'd much rather take the extra 2 months than stop seeing like my family and stuff like that. So that's what I figured out. And right now, I've gotten so much better. I feel so much better than when I started that I feel like that assumption has been validated now. The fact that I don't need to be 100% all the time. I feel like that's okay now. Like I can go out and hang with people and I'm still going to get better, the most better I can by the end of 4 months. So I feel like that's fine. That thought process is still in the back of the mind though, which is why I still feel like a bit conflicted, and it's still 100% correct that this is not going to be an improvement day because I'm going out, I'm going to hang out with my parents. That's still just a fact. So it's bumps in the road, but it's bumps that are worth going over. I'm sorry, Mum. I didn't mean to imply that you were a bump in the road, but yeah. So I'm trying to be honest in this bloody thing. I mean, I was honest on Sunday about that bloody idiot. Well, I was the idiot in that case. So yeah. Anyway, I'm trying to be honest. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, these are the sort of decisions you have to make. So obviously, going out every night is stupid, but not going out at all, you have to balance it out. And let me just say that if you become a loner, if you become a hermit and you don't go and see everybody, not only are you going to permanently damage your relationships, maybe not permanently, but it takes a lot more effort to get them going than it does to just sort of cut them off, to just sort of leave them dry. And it's also, you can't undervalue the positive effect that having fun with other people will actually work. Like, I remember I had a panic attack once like, I was at Christmas. I was at my parents' place. I had a panic attack. And I do have panic attacks every now and then. It's an anxiety attack. Panic attack is worse than anxiety. We're having an anxiety attack just because there was too many people around. Even though it was just like me and 3 other people, like my close family. Oh, it was just Christmas, and I don't know why I was having an anxiety attack, but whatever. So anyway, and my mum was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm having an anxiety attack." So I just told her straight out. Usually I wouldn't. I'd just sort of swallow it up and deal with it. But that day I just said, "Look, I'm having an anxiety attack." The second I told her I was having an anxiety attack, the anxiety attacks stopped happening. Just drifted away. Just sort of closed down. That I still cannot explain because I understand quite a lot about anxiety attacks. I have a fair bit of them, or used to have a fair bit of them when I get stressed out at work. Usually when my boss wants me to do something and it's just like, deadlines and all this stress and, oh, you're not doing good enough, you got to do better, blah, blah, blah. That sort of stuff can make anxiety attacks happen. So I understand how to deal with them, and how I deal with them is basically just swallow them up, breathing exercises, go outside, take a quick walk, just get over them. And if it's work, maybe it'll go on for like a few hours or something like that. Just come up and come back. So that's how you deal with it. That's how I deal with it. You just swallow it up and then keep it going. Just let it fizzle out, and eventually it'll fizzle out. But for some reason, I told my mum, I said, "Look, I'm having an anxiety attack," and she's like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm doing better." And I was. As soon as I told her, anxiety attack started to go away, and I do not to this day understand why that happened. And I think it's an Aspergers thing, because I think people with Aspergers, and I don't want to speak for everybody else, so I'll just speak for myself, me with Aspergers, because everything has to go through the logical part of your brain. There's no social part of your brain like everybody else has. It has to go through the logical part of the brain. Understanding the benefits of actually talking to other people is not something that just comes across naturally. It's something you have to logically process. You have to figure out. You have to convince. You have to justify it to yourself why I should go out and hang out with these people. What's the benefit that I'm getting? Because the idea that you go out and you hang out with other people and they feel better because you're around, that just makes no sense. It just makes no sense. Because when you go out and you hang around with other people, do you feel better? I mean, I guess you do, but it's a fleeting feeling. It's not an ongoing process like this chronic fatigue thing where I'm sort of getting better over time. It's you have fun, and then you go home and it's just like, well, I suppose I had fun. You remember having fun, but it's not, I don't know. It's one of those things that just happens in the moment, but it's not long lasting. So I don't know. I'm probably sounding like a complete arsehole at this point, but yeah. So anyway, but obviously I'm going to keep doing that sort of stuff, and I'm going to keep hanging out with my parents because I do have fun. Definitely while I'm there, I feel better. I feel like I'm having fun. I feel like I'm connecting with my parents and all that sort of stuff. I've got good parents. They love to see me. I love to see them as well. After all I've just talked about, but if I'm sitting here, about to leave in 2 hours to go see my parents, then it's harder to see the fun that's going to happen. It's going to happen, but it's because I'm in such a state where I'm putting everything through the filter of, will this help my chronic fatigue? Then it's hard not to see it as a non-improvement day, which I guess. So anyway, after the 4 months is over, hopefully I can put away that filter, which is going to be tough because I know once you get a filter like that, I've had that filter for over a year now, like for at least a year, after I decided that the pills weren't going to help me and all of that sort of stuff, that I needed to actually focus on it fully, which I've been doing all year. That's been my primary focus. And once I'm cured, because there's a chance I could still slide back, I could still get worse, it's going to be very hard to get rid of that filter. And maybe I shouldn't, because as I said, if I start doing stupid things, then maybe I'll get worse again. So I gotta figure out some sort of system, because that filter 100% helps me with chronic fatigue, but it makes Asperger's worse, because that filter is telling me, don't do this, it could hurt your chronic fatigue. Don't do that, it could hurt your chronic fatigue. But if I don't do all those things, my Asperger's is going to get worse, because the only way to fix your Asperger's, to make that better, is to confront it. You have to go out and hang out with people, you have to go out and get more social, you have to go out and do things. That's how you cure Asperger's. And I don't say cure, because there's no cure, but how you make it better. That's how you improve your Asperger's, how you make it easier to deal with, is practice. You've got to go out, you've got to feel, hang out with people, do people things, do social things. It's kind of like a phobia. If you're scared of spiders, then you've got to slowly introduce yourself to spiders bit by bit until you're no longer afraid of them. It's the same thing with Asperger's. Your anxiety, your fear of other people is a big thing in Asperger's. So you've got to go out there, and it's two things. So first of all is practicing your social skills to make yourself better at talking with other people. And the second is exposing yourself to more people in a social setting so you get over your fear of being around other people. You never get rid of it, the fear, entirely, but it becomes much more diluted. You become much better at dealing with it. And that's exactly what I was doing until I got chronic fatigue. Once I got chronic fatigue, that I cut a lot of that off, because there's not a lot of situations for social contact when you can't go out, when going out tires you out. So yeah, Asperger's went down the toilet when I got chronic fatigue. So this filter, this chronic fatigue filter I've got, great for chronic fatigue, terrible for Asperger's. So I'm going to have to figure out how to dilute that filter down, how to maybe get rid of it, or not get rid of it, but how to dilute it down, how to increase my risk portfolio using some technobabble there, so I can go out and do more while at the same time still being confident that my chronic fatigue is not getting worse. And maybe it'll get to the point where my energy is so high that if I avoid stupid stuff like hiking and ski trips and training for a marathon, then it'll never go down. Maybe that'll be good. But I feel like that'll be a gradual process over 2020, sort of gradually reducing that filter, gradually increasing my amount of social activity again. This has been another killer of a video, man. Definitely covered a lot though, which again probably should have been a few different videos, but yeah, I suppose it's good to get it out. Okay, I think I'm going to call it here. I probably could keep talking about Asperger's if I wanted to, but yeah, I'm going to call it here. I'm going to do some stuff. It might be a good idea to get the dishwasher going before I go out, because I might need it if I have to start throwing deli meat out or chicken out or something like that, and then cook some meals midweek. So definitely it would be nice to have some containers free, because I don't have any containers clean at the moment. So anyway, I will get back to you guys tomorrow, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Love you, Mum.